What is Santa Claus putting in your stocking this Christmas? I have some ideas coming up. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to the channel. I've heard some talk in the collector community lately about what's going to happen to our hobby once we get older and are done collecting and frankly start dying off. Who's going to pick up the torch? Who's going to carry the baton for toy collecting? As we know, kids today aren't really as interested in toys and action figures as we were. Maybe it's video games, apps, and other electronic distractions. Maybe it's because they didn't have the connection to these properties like we did. Thanks to the comic book industry being reinvented as an industry for adults rather than children, and also the lack of appointment viewing when it came to Saturday morning and after-school cartoons. Or maybe it's simply the high cost and lack of available product that keeps kids from getting toys. However, a lot of us out in the collector community may have children, even grandchildren, nieces, nephews, younger children in the family that we'd like to introduce to all of our favorite franchises, and maybe get them interested enough to pick up the hobby when they're older. Of course, the problems with that include the fact that we sometimes can't get the toys because they're always out of stock or perennially on pre-order, and the cost has gone up drastically on the toys we can find. Do we really want to spend $25, $30 or more on a figure and give it to a child only to have that figure break because of quality control issues? Or to have that figure come with a bunch of different heads, hands, and accessories that we know are going to be immediately lost as soon as the figure gets opened? So I'd like to offer some possible solutions. Many of the big toy companies are producing less expensive versions of toys and characters from all their popular franchises. These figures come at a much lower cost than, say, mainline Transformers, G.I. Joe Classified, Marvel Legends, Star Wars Black Series, and the like. And they could be a great way to introduce potential young collectors to all the franchises that we love. In the US, these toys can be found at many discount chains, including Five Below, Big Lots, Family Dollar, Dollar General, and Dollar Tree. Of course, I'm based in the US, so those suggestions would be good for any US viewers. So if there are any international viewers out there who know where to get less expensive toys at discount stores, please let us know in the comments. And maybe you can help out one of your fellow collectors. So I'm just going to go through and give you a quick rundown of what's available out there in these discount lines. And as you can see, there are toys available from all our favorite brands. Now, I've done several videos on the Dollar Tree Final Faction toy line, which is also a great inexpensive toy line to get kids into toy collecting. But in this video, I'm going to focus on the familiar franchises that we've enjoyed for many decades. Marvel, DC, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Power Rangers, Masters of the Universe, Jurassic World, and Godzilla. Let's start with DC and Marvel, two of the granddaddies of action figure franchises. On the DC side, Spin Masters produces a number of cheaper alternative DC action figures. Most of them, of course, are from the Batman family. There are several different versions of Batman, as well as the Joker, Robin, Nightwing, and Mr. Freeze. But you can also get a Superman figure as shown here. On the Marvel side, Hasbro produces a number of figures in this new plastic-free packaging. Most of the main Avengers are available. As you can see, Spider-Man, Captain America, and the Hulk. But I've also seen Iron Man and Black Panther. These figures are about 6 inches tall, but cost only $5, and that's because they are only 3 POA and don't come with any accessories. Spin Masters does produce their 4-inch DC line, which are actually quite inexpensive, and they come with a number of vehicles and playsets. But if you wanted something a little less expensive and less complicated for younger kids, these are a good fit. This is a nice, solid Superman figure. He's got a cape made of that kind of ribbony material, not real cloth. But it's good enough for a discount figure. Same thing with Spider-Man. 3 POA in the shoulders and the head. So obviously you're not going to give these to a Marvel Legends collector, but I think they are quite suitable for kids. Hasbro also makes these $5 figures in the plastic-free packaging for one of their biggest licenses, and that's Star Wars. We see 3 figures here from the original trilogy, Stormtrooper Vader and Jedi Luke, but there are also 3 additional figures in this line from The Mandalorian, and that's Din Djarin, Bo-Katan, and of course, Baby Grogu. As with the Marvel and DC figures, you're getting a 3 POA figure, but in this case you are also getting an accessory with the lightsaber. And these figures are just shy of 6 inches. Here's a selection of figures from a Transformers line that is called Authentics. These are evergreen versions of popular Transformers characters sold at a $5 price point. And some stores do carry a larger version of these at a $10 price point as well. In this selection we have popular Autobots Bumblebee, Optimus Prime, RC, and Grimlock. For the Decepticons we have Megatron and Barricade. And I've also seen a Starscream in this scale. Here's a look at Grimlock and RC out of the package. They do come with instruction sheets. But for $5 you're getting a very bare bones toy. RC does come with a small weapon. Grimlock does not. These are very light toys, and they do have some very hollow limbs. There's not a lot of plastic on these for $5. But I think if you're introducing a younger kid to Transformers, these might be a better option than the more expensive, more complicated ones. And here they are in their alternate modes. Not exactly masterpieces, but this is what $5 gets you these days. We also have a small selection from Hasbro's other in-house brand, G.I. Joe. Like the Star Wars and Marvel figures, these are 3 POA and just under 6 inches. What's unusual about these figures is they each come with a weapon, but the weapon is molded into their hands. Destro and the Baroness both have guns, and of course Snake Eyes has a katana. So they do have weapons, but you can't lose them because they're molded on. Playmates recently released a selection of figures from Godzilla vs. Kong that are about 3 inches tall and retail for $5. The King Kong in this set is 3 POA with both shoulders and his head. He's got some nice paint on him for a small figure. No accessories though, so he does not come with his axe. And both Godzilla and Mechagodzilla are 5 POA. They can move their arms, legs, and the tail, which has to be attached out of the package. And here's a size comparison with the figures that Playmates previously released in that small 2-inch scale. We know all kids love monsters, so who wouldn't want a few monsters in their Christmas stocking this year? Dollar Tree has always been a great place to grab minifigures from many popular franchises. These figures are about 2 inches tall. They are static figures, no articulation, but they're very robust figures for playtime. Each assortment usually comes with 5 or 6 different characters in it. They have Jurassic World from the Mattel Micro Collection, as well as Masters of the Universe. And despite Mattel losing the DC license to McFarlane and Spin Masters, somehow they are still able to bring us Justice League figures in the Micro Collection. From Hasbro, we get a selection of Transformers minifigures, which are designed with the Generation 1 aesthetic in mind, as well as Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And unfortunately, there are only 5 figures in this assortment, so they have not released the Yellow Ranger. Trini did not make the cut. And these little Rangers might be good for pairing with larger Megazord figures. Something else I'd like to mention before we go is a charity that I donate to every year around the holidays, and that is Toys for Tots. Toys for Tots is a program that was started by the United States Marine Corps Reserve way back in 1947. And its mission is to distribute toys to needy children around the holidays who wouldn't otherwise be able to receive toys for Christmas. Toys for Tots accepts donations of new unwrapped toys, as well as monetary donations. Every year around the holidays, I do make a donation of toys to Toys for Tots. And even if you don't have a lot of money to spend or to give to charity, I'm sure there's a needy child out there who would love one of these toys from these discount lines. After all, toys are made for children, and children should be able to enjoy them no matter what their family's financial situation is. Again, that is a US-based charity. If anyone knows of any similar charities in their country, please give them a shout out in the comments. That's it for this one, and I hope Santa Claus puts everything you want under your tree this year. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.